Over the next 3 days, my brothers and I are walking over $100 million of real estate, and we're taking you with us. As value-add investors, we're always looking for deals, and we're big believers in seeing a deal in person before you make an offer.
So we're on the way. We're about to go see a property in Columbia, South Carolina, and it's 100 units.
Now you might be thinking, value-add investing sounds like a fancy way of us saying, I'm too broke to buy something brand new. That's not true.
Value-add investing is basically where you find a property that is in good condition, but it's just a little bit dated, meaning that there's comparable properties where they're renovating the units and getting more rent. What we go in and do is find these properties, make renovations, or maybe add amenities, and then we'll increase rents, which will then increase the income of the property and then increase the value of the property.
They say one man's trash is another man's treasure, and as value-add investors, we take that very seriously. Who needs gold when you can have an older apartment complex, am I right?
So if you look over there at the fence, that's a potential value add, and then the pool.
There are no chairs or grilling areas, and the pool looks very outdated.
Now, in order to identify value-add opportunities, we think like detectives, or a nosy neighbor. Same thing really. We pay attention to things that may need improvement or updating.
Now we're headed to Port Royale. I've actually never been there.
A little bit nervous. It's my first time, you know.
It's a port in South Carolina, looking at a 96 unit property.
Now let's talk about common areas. These are the spaces that all residents share, like lobbies, hallways, and community spaces. Improving these areas can make a huge difference in the overall resident experience.
That opportunity here, you see how there's a small playground in the middle of a huge slab of concrete. What you could do is not only repave the concrete, but maybe add an addition to the playground. You could add a swing set, maybe some type of court. You could add a grilling area with a pergola, just a place for our residents to come and hang out at on the weekends. Oh, look at the cat.
We're in Atlanta, Georgia. We're gonna go check out a property that we're partnered on. This property is about 328 units, so it's a larger property.
One of the amenities is a basketball court, so we had no choice but to test it out. Don't worry, Jeff's much better at real estate investing than he is at basketball. Let's talk about curb appeal. You know what they say, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. That's especially true when trying to attract great residents at a property.
Some common exterior improvements that you can make to a property that can really improve the curb appeal is paint, changing the siding, so putting vinyl siding. As you can see behind me, there's vinyl siding. Although it's an older property, makes it look a lot better and a lot newer. And then parking lot. So whenever you see a parking lot that looks raggedy, jagged, has potholes, it just makes the property look a lot worse. So getting either restriping and resealing the parking lot and or repaving the parking lot makes it look a lot better.
Landscaping is a great place to start. A little bit of greenery can go a long way in making a property look inviting. We've never had much of a green thumb, but even I can appreciate the power of a well-maintained landscape. I just hope Jeff doesn't accidentally kill any plants while we're here. Anyway,
Landscaping, like planting flowers, trimming the bushes, making sure the grounds are kept, no trash, cutting the grass. That is another way to improve the curb appeal of a property without it costing a lot of money.
but how do we balance the cost of unit improvements with the potential return on investment? We don't want to overspend on upgrades that won't bring in higher rent. But we also don't want to skimp on improvements that could make a big impact. Unit improvements are like Tinder profile pictures. You want them to be attractive or you'll get left swipes.
Whenever we're renovating, whether we're going inside doing interior renovations, so flooring, paint, countertops, cabinets, etc. If we're renovating a unit, we would then like to see a return on investment. If we only had a specific amount of money and had to choose between doing interior renovations and renovating and or adding amenities, we would rather do the interior renovations, because if there's a proven strategy in which we can increase rents, there's a direct ROI attached to that. We're gonna go check out two property portfolio that are right next to each other, a total of 244 units in West Atlanta.
Recurring theme in this video, besides the fact that Jeffrey loves to eat, is that value-add investing is a lot like beauty. It's in the eye of the beholder, which means we needed to keep our eyes wide open for value-add opportunities.
While we're in town, we're also gonna go check on the property that we most recently closed on, which is 170 units in Southwest Atlanta. So come along.
Unit improvements are the bread and butter of value-add investing. These are the improvements that can make a big difference in attracting and retaining residents and increasing rent revenue. It's all about creating a space that people want to live in. Think about it. If you were a resident, would you want to live in a unit with outdated appliances and fixtures? That's why updating things like appliances, flooring, and fixtures can make a huge difference.
The renovations that we did in here, as you guys can see, we did the black accent. Whenever we take pictures, this helps make the cabinet pop. We did the black accent water. I didn't know it was on. Obviously, black appliances, flooring, new carpet there, lights in general. We also went with the black. And then in the bathroom, resurfaced, which just means that we painted the tile, the black hardware again. We spent about a little over $6,000 on renovations here, and we're going to rent it for $1,200. So that is a $200 increase in rent.
You got fucking money. He got money.
Value-add investing in multifamily real estate comes with its share of risks and challenges. Firstly, there's the risk of underestimating renovation costs or encountering unexpected issues during the construction process, which can lead to budget overruns and delays in achieving the desired returns.
We just finished up here. We're gonna go check out another property. It's also in West Atlanta. This property is 112 units.
The success of value-add investing relies heavily on market conditions and the ability to accurately forecast rental demand, which can be uncertain and unpredictable. Investors must carefully manage the risks associated with taking on debt to finance renovations, as higher leverage increases vulnerability to market downturns and economic fluctuations.
We're gonna go take a look at 352 unit property in College Park, Georgia.
Quick side note, we usually tour these properties with a property manager, and we always conduct extensive due diligence on a property before we close. While we've got a lot of skills, for instance, ring toss mastery, we always look to leverage experts in construction and property management on any deal we do. Their expertise helps us mitigate risk and invest with confidence.
We're heading home today, guys. Last tour. We're going to check out a 175 unit in Gainesville, Georgia.
This property was probably our favorite. It had a unique landscape, and there was still some meat on the bone for value-add investors like us.
Really nice. It's on a lake.
Recap time. All of the deals we looked at on this trip were overpriced. In other words, the value-add opportunities at each property didn't outweigh their price tags, which meant it was pencils down, no deal. And to be honest, it was frustrating. So we had to blow off some steam. On the way home from our trip, as I thought about the fact that the next day would be chest day at the gym, I realized something. Real estate investing is a lot like a good workout. It can be challenging at the moment, but the results are worth it. A stronger property and a stronger investment.
Shout out to Nike. Remember, just do it. Y'all have a good one.